Hey, what's up guys? ArtDude47 here, and I'm back for another video. So today I thought it'd be interesting to talk about the most valuable item in my collection. So as you can see on the screen, I currently have a spreadsheet up. Recently, I've been trying to get better about cataloging my collection, keeping track of what I own, what I paid for it, and what the current price is via price charting. If you don't know, that's a website where you can look up different collectibles and it pulls data from eBay and different sales websites to give you a value of those items. And so as I've finished cataloging the whole collection, I've come across what the most valuable item is. It's actually by a pretty steep margin in the collection. And it's a pretty interesting item, so I thought I'd show it to you. First, we'll just go quickly through the spreadsheet I made. If you think this could be useful for any of you, I can probably release a template, but basically I've got a drop down for the item type. I could choose console, controller, peripheral, or a game, and then you type the item name, the condition, which can be new, complete in box, loose, box only, or other. And then I've got this detailed description only if it needs it. For example, this is loose. I'm just saying I do have the cables and controller. Or A Boy and His Blob, the cart is cracked, and I do have the manual for it. Then I put what I paid for it. This was something I've been keeping track of, so I have that. I decided to add this purchase date field, which was something I wasn't keeping track of beforehand, so that will only be for newer items in my collection. And then the other thing is, if you notice a lot of zeros, these are things that either I had from my childhood that I'm just putting the value at 0, or my paid price, because either it was so long ago I don't know what I paid for it, or it was bought by my parents or as a gift, anything like that. And then other things that I've received more recently as a gift, my wife will buy me things for the collection, things like that. And then I've got the current price charting value, which this I went and grabbed on my own, just based on the condition of the items that I've got. And then finally there is the tabbing at the bottom, so you can go through each console. Like I said, I don't have as much handheld, so I just made handheld one category, and then you could choose which console it is here. And that kind of leads us to the most valuable item in the collection. I was quite shocked by this when I pulled it up on price charting, but you could see here it is a Game Boy Advance SP console, and it's a Pokemon Center Charizard console. So I bought this console 10 years ago, I believe, and I paid $200 for it. And at the time, it was the most I had paid for anything in the collection, and really I felt pretty guilty for it. I kind of was like, man, maybe I should have bought a couple smaller things. I just thought the console was really cool. So we'll kind of talk about that too, my collecting philosophy. I'm not really buying anything with the expectation that the value's going up or that it's rare. I just buy what I think is cool. For games, that involves games I actually want to play. And for consoles and hardware, I really do like collecting the hardware, so I like different variations, and then specifically cool variations. Zelda, Pokemon variations, those I think are really cool. So before I show you the actual item, which we will look at in my collection, I'll just show you the price charting for it real quick. So this is what it looks like in the box, and this way, if you haven't seen price charting before, you could take a look. But they give you a loose price, a complete price, a new price, graded, box only, manual only, and then they kind of have a graph of how it changes over time. Now mine is complete in box, so we'll kind of add that line as well. And so you could kind of see how it's changed, what it values it at, and if you go to like complete in box listing sold, you could see that actually there's only about 3 sales per year, so it's pulling this from 3 sales, all that happened in 2023. One was $500, one was $920, and then the other was $881, which is how they come to this value of $881. So it's not perfect, but this will give you a good idea of value of things in your collection if you're wanting to do that. So now I think what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and unbox it. So I'm going to switch cameras so we can take a look at the item itself, and we'll talk about this Game Boy and take a look at it. All right, so here we are with the box. So we'll take a look at the box first. As you can see, it does say it's the Pokemon Center, it's the Game Boy Advanced SP, and it's the AGS 001 model. Now, despite this box being mostly in English, as far as I know, this was a Japanese-only console, and so this is the Japanese version. So just taking a look around the box here, you can see it's got the nice Charizard artwork up top. On the first side of the box, we've got the Game Boy Advance branding again, and then it shows like a picture of the actual console, and then some Japanese text, and there you can see that it is the Japanese model. Then if we take a look up top, you can see it's got the Pokemon Center logo, the like folded view of the actual console itself, and the Game Boy Advanced. The other side shows the console actually opened up. It's got another view of the console. The bottom just has some text: for sale and use in Japan only. Can't use it for rentals, things like that. And then the back has some facts about the SP itself, some artwork of Charizard, and just some information like that. Alright, so that's the box of the console. Pull the console here itself. And like I said earlier, this is the most valuable item in my collection. So I never expected it to be. Like I said, the value's actually risen quite significantly. And I talked a little bit about my collecting philosophy. Something like this, it's very cool to have, and I do like it a lot. Of course, it's a nice console, but I like everything in my collection to be usable. And unfortunately, this Charizard etching will come off. I have seen consoles in the wild where it's just completely come off, so I'm almost scared to use it, so I don't play games on this console, which I do like in my collection, but I don't want to risk it with this, so I don't. So here's the outside of the console. You can see actually it's not even that great of a design. It's just like an outline of Charizard, but it is a good color. It's almost like a fiery red-orange in person. I'm not sure it shows well on the camera. You can see on the battery cover here, we've got Pokemon Center. And then other than that, it's just a pretty standard Advance SP. Now, of course, I'm going to try one-handed here to open it. All right. Harder than it looks with one hand. On the inside, we have another Charizard, and you can see on my console kind of what I'm talking about. One of his wings is faded. So I really just don't play this console very much. But yeah, so that's the inside. It's just got another outline of Charizard blowing fire. And of course, this one also has a common problem with the Game Boy. Shows up right there, it actually turned right on, but the power switch is a little bit finicky, so sometimes it won't come on. Of course, it's not going to happen now that I'm talking about it, but the reason I bring it up is it's something I may attempt to fix. If you guys would be interested in a video like that where I take this apart and show you how to fix that battery cover, let me know. Then finally in the box I have a few pieces of paperwork. There's just this one slip that says Game Boy Advance SP. Don't know what it says in Japanese, of course. It's blank on the outside. And then there's the actual manual that came with the SP itself. Of course, also in Japanese completely. And then we've got the Game Boy Advance charger. So that's everything in the box. That is the most valuable item in my collection. Again, that's that Charizard Pokemon Center Game Boy Advance console. Like I said, this one was Japanese only. There were actually a few other Pokemon Center consoles too. I know they made a Torchic edition. I believe there was an Ivysaur edition. There was a Groudon and Kyogre edition. And then I believe there was a Rayquaza edition. I think that's all the different ones. All similar designs. Of course, the console itself would be a different color depending on the character represented. But as far as I know, they all do the kind of outline design. So that's a look at the Charizard Game Boy Advance SP. If you have any questions or comments regarding the console, and again, if you would find it helpful for me to release a template for my spreadsheet, please let me know in the comments. If you have any other videos you'd like to see, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one.